Hey everyone. Today you're gonna watch me screw up a drawing, like really, really ruin it. And I'm not kidding. Not just because it's a really challenging angle, not just because teeth are a pain in the but also because I'm using materials that I'm not familiar with, that are new to me, and I took a chance and I ruined the drawing. But I will say there is no such thing as ruining, because you can always come back from it or you can work your way through it, which is what I decided to do. And as always, the result is not perfect. But it's not about being perfect. It's about learning and challenging yourself. And this was a challenge for me, this drawing. Yeah. So you can see now that I am outlining the eyes, and I'm making sure that measurements are on point, or sort of on point. If it looks to you like my measurements are off, that's just because you're watching the video from another perspective than from the perspective I'm drawing from, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that's the only reason why. Anyway, it's another video of me drawing Evan Peters. And I decided on this particular reference photo, because it's really hard to draw teeth. And you will see me make a lot of mistakes as I start drawing them. And the reason why teeth are so incredibly difficult, or can be very difficult, is because if the tiniest lines are off, it can look totally wrong. And there's so much personality in teeth. Think about if your favorite, I don't know, if one of your friends has a crooked teeth, or your mom has, I don't know, there's just like, we all identify people not only by their looks, but by their smiles. And some people have very straight teeth, and some people have crooked teeth. And no matter straight or crooked, it's always hard to get full likeness in teeth. It's just really, really hard. And with this particular drawing, I started out making the teeth too short, which I will show you in a few minutes. Here I am outlining the nose. And I'm really feeling pretty confident at this point. I'm thinking, this is going pretty well. I think. I will say that even though I've been drawing for a long, long time, it's really still really important for me to take breaks, to come back to the drawing, to leave it alone and come back to it. Because when you draw, you get so caught up in details. So it's really hard to see the whole picture, the full picture, to take that step back and just regard it all as one. Because a portrait is not just about its separate parts, it's about bringing it all together and not just creating likeness, but getting, I want to say personality. Personality is such a, it's not the right word. I mean, it's like the essence of a person, or like the energy of someone. And it's not just about their mood, because obviously he looks happy here. But when you look at someone, we all know that there are different levels of happiness. There are different levels of, I'm babbling. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's all just about capturing the energy of someone. I will get into this later on a lot more. But right here, I wanted to show you this because teeth can be so difficult. Even though I'm really making an effort to measure out, I'm going with these vertical lines from, for instance, the nostrils or the corners of the eyes, and to make sure that I get the right width of the teeth and I position them right. And if you will notice, I don't do all the teeth all at once. I take little breaks and then I start working on a dimple or like those smile wrinkles. Just because it's good to have tiny breaks. It's also good to have longer breaks because that's when you start to see the bigger picture. But I just go to and from a lot on my drawings. If you've seen my previous videos, you will remember maybe that I've mentioned that before, but it's really, really important. I also look out for lines that aren't straight, but might be a little bit curvy when it comes to teeth. Because if you make it too straight, it will look artificial, like it will just look unnatural is the right word. So I haven't, at this point, I haven't yet realized that I've made them too short, but I will. So right now I'm just focusing on the outer contours of the mouth, like the lower lip here. Again, I can't stress this enough. When I draw, it feels like I'm drawing a map as I'm kind of like if you're in a wood and if you're in the forest and you have to draw a map of the area that you're in, and you have to move around and weigh everything up against each other and just see, okay, so if this distance is this, then the next one is. God, I'm so bad at English today. What's going on? I don't know what it is. Okay, here I'm just shading. But really, it is about the mapping. I'm mapping, and just constantly weighing proportions up against each other. I think that's the right, a more correct choice of words. So I keep weighing everything up against each other. Placing the ear, notice I keep drawing these vertical or horizontal lines to make sure that everything is in its right place or close to right place. This is, after all, freehand drawing, and I cannot stress how much I enjoy freehand drawing, even though it's so much harder than using help, for instance, grids or tracing paper or light boxes or stuff like that. I used to do that too, but for the last, more than 10 years, I want to say 12 years maybe, I have decided to only go freehand because it's just so much more interesting for me. It's not that for everyone, but for me, it's much more interesting. If you can notice here, I've actually extended the teeth a little bit. I have made them longer, a little bit longer. So I've redrawn parts of the mouth here, which I haven't. That's not on the video. I cut that out, or I decided not to film it, maybe. I don't remember which it is, but I had breaks. I took a break, and taking a break is such a good idea. I cannot stress that enough either. Take a break. And you don't have to do other things. You can just draw on something else. I mean, you can draw on the hair, or you can draw someone else, or you can... But the best thing is really to go out, get away from it, and just, take some fresh air, or kiss someone, or tell someone you love them. Call your mom. Yeah. Breaks are incredible. What am I doing here? I'm going in with my pencil again and sort of rethinking the whole drawing and reapplying more definition and more contrast. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. And I'm working on a brow there, adding a little bit more shadows. Also, there are parts of the face, particularly the side of the nose that's lit up from the light source. It's kind of hard to see where the shadows are. So I sort of make up my own shadows. Does that make sense? I try and define the shadows or like play around with it until I find something that looks acceptable. It looks like this could be his nose, because you can't always find all the details. If parts of, for instance, a photo is overly lit. Oh, and here we are. Now I have done something very stupid. I have used very dark gray pan pastel. And pan pastel is like a very, very soft, almost like eyeshadow. It's a very soft, almost chalk or ink. No, not ink. Charcoal. Like a substance. Substance. Oh my God, I'm so bad today. What the bleep is going on? So yeah, and it looks patchy. It looks, at this point, I just wanted to rip out the page, But then I thought, okay, I'm just going to concentrate here on the cheek and making it plump, like pop. Making it a little bit apple cheeky. So I just ignore the problem. And then I thought, what about using the precision eraser as an art tool, as a pencil, to make these sort of highlights in his hair? Then I was like, oh, wow, then it makes sense. It makes sense to use this pan pastel thing in the hair, but what about the skin? Because it looks patchy on his forehead, for instance. So what do I do there? Okay, just still working on the hair. I'm adding a little bit more dark to get some definition. And I'm brushing up on the teeth. Brushing the teeth. That's funny. Ha ha. Anyway, putting some shading on the lower lip there. And really, really hating myself for applying all that crazy pan pastel. It's sort of like, I would say it resembles almost like eyeshadow. It's very soft. It's very, very dense, sort of. Look at that. Oh my God, it's so patchy. Again, I used the precision eraser to create these lighter hairs. And then go in with the pencil and sort of emphasize the whites with some more shadow and some more stubble. Yeah. And this is typically me. I choose to just, what do you say? Neglect the problem. Or like close my eyes and just say, okay, I'm just going to focus on something else and not deal with the problem right away, which is actually sometimes a good thing when you're drawing because it gives you a little bit of a breather and time to reconsider what you should do. And here's the end result. And I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it's not perfect, but I will say that I succeeded in getting some likeness. And I like the way I did his teeth. They're not perfect. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. I could have chosen a more safe path. I could have chosen not to use the pan pastel, but I chose it to challenge myself, and I sure did. And that was the main purpose. So, excuse me, thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe to this channel. Please let me know in the comments what you think. And if you have any suggestions to future people or future reference photos that you would like me to draw from, please let me know. Yeah, I'll be back soon with a new drawing, I promise. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!